Our goal as teachers is our students' learning. It is the cornerstone of assessment in junior cycle. The purpose of assessment is to promote and to encourage student learning, to move student learning forward. It doesn't have any other purpose in junior cycle. That's the definition that's given to us. So, you know, when you've completed a SLAR process and you walk away, first of all, you can return, you know, a descriptor to your students with confidence. So when they get that descriptor, which you try and give to them as timely as you can once the SLAR is completed, you know, you're doing it in the knowledge that, I suppose, your work has been rubber stamped. You know, it's not just you. You've had the backing of your colleagues, and you have been fair, you have been just, and you've done the best for them. I always think teaching is a bit like sculpting. You know, every year we get a block of marble, and every year you're trying to produce the same thing but different, you know. And there are so many influences, you know, and a SLAR is just like, you know, weather, you know, it's weather beaten from one side and it comes at you from another side. And I really think the SLAR feeds into that process of shaping it.
In particular, where you have, say, a single teacher of a subject. And in our case, in our school, say we have 2 subjects where they link up with 2 other schools, be that virtually or be that in person. But there's rich learning for the school, for each school involved, because not alone are you sharing among schools, but you're sharing across departments, the same department in the school. That there's a very rich dialogue, I feel, that goes outside the remit of what can be done, you know, within the department. Also, I think on a personal level that, you know, following reflection after the SLAR, I think the next time that you take on your CBA, you attack that very differently with the students, or you use very different methods, you know, in the way that you sort of go about this with your students. And that then the following subject department meeting, we'd always sit down and say, well, what worked well now with that SLAR and what didn't work as well.
That I never actually would have experienced before is how fascinating and how helpful and how great it has been to learn from my colleagues. As I said, to go in there and kind of go, oh, that's a way of doing that. I never thought about that. That's brilliant. Or likewise, they might do it for me. It might be something simple, an approach, something simple that unlocks something for me. And if it unlocks something for me, then it helps me for teaching as well. And grades to the students. Sometimes that gets a little bit left, I think, by the by, because they're going on to a new CBA, or there's something else, or there's something else happening, or depending on the timing of the SLAR as well, it could be towards the end of the summer. And now certainly I think I'd like to make more of a deal, a bigger deal in returning these grades to their students as well.